And we are live now.
Alors, good morning, bonjour tout le monde. Hope everything's good. Broadcasting live now from Charlottetown. My name is René, and I'm here with my colleague at Veterans Affairs, Jill Payton.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, this is a first for me, so I don't see you. You see me, maybe. I don't know if you hear me. I don't hear you. So I'm talking to my camera, and I'm hoping that the technology will be collaborative today, and that we'll be able to show you, to introduce you to one of our new tools at Veterans Affairs. It's a tool developed to help you learn more about the Canadian Armed Forces in recent years and help you teach that subject with your students. So if the technology is working right now, you're seeing a PowerPoint screen, and you see the title of our session called Exploring Veterans Affairs Canada, New Canadian Armed Forces Around the World, Multimedia, Bilingual Learning Kit. That's a long title, but that's the purpose of the session today. So let's go to the next slide. And we have our, here are the two presenters for the sessions, myself, René, and Jill. We both are education officer at Veterans Affairs. Myself, I taught in for about 10 years. I taught in different provinces. I went to 4 different provinces, and my goal was to teach in different parts of the country. And when I arrived in Prince Edward Island, I said I'll be here for a year. And so it's my last year. I've been here for about 20 years now. So about 10 years in teaching and 10 years with Veterans Affairs. I'll let Jill say a few words about herself.
Hi there, good morning. Yes, I've been on the island as well for about 20 years. And I also came here thinking it was going to be 1 year, and it's been 20. But I have 4 kids here, and I've worked at Veterans Affairs for over 15 years now, and it's been great developing learning materials for youth and educators across the country. And like this project here that we have, this new multimedia project, then things have changed over the years. So technology has changed, and the way that we develop our resources. So this was a new approach that we tried, and so we wanted to be here today to share that with you, to show you something new that we have to offer.
So teachers, beware, if you come to Prince Edward Island for a visit, you might be stuck here.
Might stay.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, I'll talk for myself and Jill in Charlottetown in Prince Edward Island. The health situation is fairly good. I mean, we've been through the same thing as you probably all went through during the spring months, which was confinement. So we stayed home and we worked from home. So in a few days, we had to move our computers home and try to find a quiet spot in the house. And it's similar to what many of you did. And so right now in Charlottetown, in PEI, we live on an island. It's a bubble, and the health situation is good. But we watch the news and we see that in other parts of the country, situation is not optimal, and you have usually in a normal day, a normal year, you have all sorts of challenges, and this year you add even more, like another layer or 2 layers of challenges. So before at the end of the session, if I forget, I wanted to say that to start. Thank you for what you do with the students, and thank you for being on like boots on the ground, right on the field. So thank you for being here today as well, listening to the session.
Yes, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see the side of my face. As I explained, I have monitors in front of me. So camera is on one screen and the presentation is on the other screen. So sorry if you see the side of my face, but here's a quick overview of the session today. And as we said in the description, session is in English, but everything we do, like for all the resources that we produce, are French and English. And presentation today is in English, but if at the end you have questions, we'll be happy to answer in French. All right, so a quick overview. We'll talk briefly about the context around the creation of that new learning kit. We'll see what's the content of the kit. Then we'll do a quick video overview. So the overview will show you, we're gonna play a little video to show you what the kit looks like. And then questions from the teachers, how to order the kit. And if time permits, we'll touch on other VAC learning resources, and we'll end with how to remember virtually. Okay. All right. So Jill, you want to say a few words about the context, why we did that learning kit?
Sure. I see there was a quick question too about why the PowerPoint isn't in presentation mode, but I believe it's because of your monitors, correct, Renee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's new for me doing presentation virtually, and so I have 3 monitors, and if I put it in presenters mode, it goes to a different screen. So it's because I just want to make sure. So I don't see. I mean, I'm a dinosaur. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter, and I've seen like younger presenters or younger colleagues of mine, like they watch something on one screen and they answer their phone on the other one. I'm one track minded, so sorry about that. But if everybody's okay seeing the PowerPoint in no presenter mode, I think we'll stick with that.
Okay.
Okay, so Jill, you want to say a few words on the context around the learning kit?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, for the 15 years or so or more that I've been with Veterans Affairs, we've been developing learning materials for youth and educators. And when I first started, we had big binders. I don't know if anybody recalls those, but a big binder on the First World War that had lesson plans and posters and a big video, VHS video, and more. It was huge. And then a few years ago, we decided to take all that information and put it into a DVD. And we had the same kind of kit for the Second World War, a big, huge binder with tons of resources, but it was heavy to mail and hard to take to conferences. And we just felt like things were moving to more, people were using computers more and that type of thing. So we decided to digitize both kits and put them in DVD format, which worked great. And so we have the 2 kits in one DVD, which has worked well. And then we also had some learning materials and internet features on the Korean War. And we decided it would be a good time to also create something for the Korean War. And we did create a DVD. And then we realized that maybe DVDs are not being used as much. And we decided to transfer that to a USB stick. So we have that now in just a little package that we can send out and on a USB stick. And then following that, we realized that we didn't really have much to distribute about Canadian Armed Forces around the world, of any missions that happened post-Korea. And we thought it would be a good opportunity for us to, and we had a ton of interviews with veterans from Korea right up to Afghanistan. And we wanted to be able to package that learning material and those videos and some historical sheets and lesson plans and that type of thing all in one package. So that's why we decided and ended up creating this multimedia kit, which has taken place over the last couple of years, but it's now ready in a sort of comes in a little package with the USB is in the shape of a dog tag, and comes with an actual dog tag of a soldier who would have died while serving, and they are all free, and which at the end of this session we can give you our email address, and we can you can email us and we will send you a kit for you to try at home or in your classroom or to share with your students.
Yes, so as Jill said, if we look at a timeline of Canada's participation into wars, like we had like a solid offering for the First World War with our kits, Second World War the same, lots of lesson plan. And in the past 10 years, we worked on the Forgotten War, the Korean War. And like, as you know, like a few years back, we lost our last veteran of the First World War, Mr. Babcock. And the number of veterans of the Second World War and the Korean War are declining fast every year. And so we still want to honor their service, their sacrifices. But at the same time, we have a new generation of Canadians who served in around the world, and that's why we thought it was time for now, like for us to develop another resource to help our new generation of students learn about what the Canadians have done in the last 70 years. So not forgetting what has been done in the other wars. So it's just to add another tool to the toolbox. So quick overview before we show you the video. In the kit, you'll find over 230 missions and some basic information about where Canadians serve, and we'll see that in the video. And the timeline is from the late 40s, which is right after the Second World War. And so a couple missions happened between the end of the Second World War and the start of the Korean War. And then in the kit, we won't talk about the Korean War because we have a kit dedicated to the Korean War. And then after that, from the mid 50s to the years 2010. And of course, you'll ask, well, we're in 2020 now. Why didn't you include missions until last week? So developing the kit is a long process, but at the same time, Veterans Affairs is working on historical information. So in a sense, we need to let time pass before we reflect on that. And so that's why the kit that we released recently touches on missions that end in the years 2010. So we wanted to close that chapter with the end of the missions in Afghanistan. In the kit, you'll see a world map and a timeline for to locate the missions in space and in time. And there's a section called the featured missions where we have extra content. And content is the historical sheets, photo gallery, and video interviews with veterans. And we say there's two sides of the kit. So on one side, you have the missions, and on the other side, you have the lesson plans. So we develop lesson plans based on three bigger teams, like military lesson plans, humanitarian, and remembrance lesson plans. So there's 3 lesson plans for each of those categories for a total of 9. And lesson plans were developed for student age 12 to 18, grades 7 to 12, or if you're in Quebec, secondaire 1 à secondaire 5. But there's always a way to adapt those lesson plans. All right, so I'll try to switch my screen from the PowerPoint to the video, and hoping that you'll be able to see. It's a 13-minute video giving you an overview of the kit. All right, share screen. Where is that? Let me find it. Jill, can you
Bottom
sing
green.
Something?
Very bottom, green button.
Yes, you want to, you see something here?
I see
There it is.
I see it.
All right, if I click that button, you see,
Yep.
yeah, that's not the one I need. So I'll make a new sharing. Sorry about that. That's the joy of live sessions. All right, no, not here, maybe here. Okay, let's try this. Sorry for the wait, and maybe it's time for you for a little break to get a drink of water. Okay. So do you see something right now on the screen?
I just see your desktop.
Okay, so that's no good. So I'll stop this and I'll try again to share my screen
There is
and
sound.
put the video. Okay, so Let's try this again. So you see something looking like a video now?
Yeah.
Jill, you see it?
Title. I see
All
the
right,
title.
so, okay, so if I press play, give me a thumbs up if you see it on your screen.
Hear it.
Jill?
Yep.
Perfect.
Hi, and welcome to this walkthrough of the Canadian Armed Forces Around the World learning resource. It's fully bilingual and available free of charge. My name is Alan, and I'm an Education Officer at Veterans Affairs Canada. What you now see is the welcome screen. The first step is choosing your language. We now see the main screen where you can navigate this resource. Let's start by clicking on our disclaimer where you can read some key points. For instance, there have been hundreds of Canadian Armed Forces missions since the end of the Second World War and the Korean War. We couldn't include them all here, but your students will still get a good overview of the scale of the Canadian Armed Forces efforts over the past decades. To close the disclaimer, click on the X in the top left corner. We are now ready to explore things a bit further. On the top left of the main screen, there's a window to play an introductory video. Let's watch a few seconds now.
There was a country in need of help, and we were sent there to help these people.
A 7.6 earthquake struck Turkey yesterday. The casualties toll is now over 17,000 dead and 43,000 wounded.
To help these people.
Canadian forces have been responding en masse to the severe ice storm.
So that's a little teaser to the fact that multimedia content is an important element of this resource. To go back to the previous screen, click on the back arrow at the top left. In the lower left corner of the main screen, there are two options, View Missions and Lesson Plans. Let's start with View Missions. What you now see on your screen is a world map. By default, you land on the Featured Missions map. You may notice that most of the pins are located in the middle of the countries. They are not meant to be placed in the exact location where Canadians served. To select a country or a mission, go to the right-hand side of the screen. If you hover your mouse over a country's name and leave it steady for a few seconds, the corresponding pin will bounce on the screen. This will give you an idea of where it is located. We will explore the featured missions later, but now I would like to show you all the decades covered in this resource. When you click on, say, the 1960s, at the bottom of the screen, you will see that there were over 25 Canadian Armed Forces missions that began during this period. It's important to remember that other Canadian Armed Forces members were also serving in other areas during this time, taking part in other military missions that had begun earlier. When you click on the other decades, you will of course see even more. The wide range of pins gives an indication of the wide range of places that our men and women have served. We're in the 1990s now, and let's select Bosnia and Herzegovina to land on that country's information. For all the 230 plus regular missions in this resource, information is presented the same way. On the top left of the screen, you will see the name of the country where the forces served and the year or years of the mission. For example, in the 1990s, the Canadian Armed Forces served more than 10 times in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's why there are over 10 dates to choose from here. In the middle part of the screen, you will find relevant information for each mission. The name of the mission, its mandate, the organization or government that was behind it, a short description of the mission, as well as Canadian contributions. In other words, the number of Canadian Armed Forces members who served there and how many, if any, died. To the right of the screen, you will see the outline of the country, and underneath the name of the capital city's geographical coordinates, and lastly, the country's land area and primary languages. The way you navigate this resource is fairly simple. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a button to switch from English to French at any time throughout using this resource if you want to switch to the other language. If you want to navigate back to the main screen of the resource, click on the Home button. To navigate back on the previous screen, click on the back arrow located in the upper left-hand corner. We are now back on the map page. In the legend, you will note the two possible colors of the pins, dark gray for regular missions and green for the featured missions. In this learning resource, 13 featured missions are found. Click on the featured mission box in the lower left-hand corner. We use the term featured mission when additional content was available. To see an example, let's explore Afghanistan by clicking on Afghanistan in the list of countries to the right of the map. In this new screen, the Afghanistan featured mission main page, you can select content like a historical sheet, videos, and photos. We'll first explore the historical sheet. You may have seen this popular Veterans Affairs Canada resource before. They are also available online in HTML or PDF formats, as well as in hard copy. In this resource, we use the PDF version. It's a 3-page document offering an overview of the Canadian Armed Forces mission in Afghanistan. To help you navigate the PDF, a few icons are available. In the upper left-hand corner, there's a magnifying glass allowing you to search a word in the document. The plus and minus icons in the middle allow you to zoom in or zoom out. On the right-hand side of the toolbar, there's a printer icon to allow you to print if you wish. As well, there's a download button to allow you to download it if you wish to share it with your class electronically. The top of the page navigation is the same. The home button takes you back to the home screen, and the upper left-hand back arrow takes you to the previous screen. In this case, the Afghanistan featured mission page. Now let's check out the Afghanistan video section. All video galleries are laid out similarly in the featured missions. Under this video gallery, you can choose from 7 options: the featured Afghanistan video, as well as 6 interviews with Canadians who served in Afghanistan. The featured video is a collection of interviews with various veterans mixed with archival photos and video footage to paint a picture about the mission from the perspectives of those who knew it best, Canadian Armed Forces members who served there. To launch the video, simply click on the selected clip image, which opens the video window. In the video window, you will notice the title of the section and underneath, the title of the video. In the lower left-hand corner, you'll see the duration of the clip, almost 18 minutes in this case. And to the right, you can mute or unmute the video, or make it go into full screen mode. At the far right, you'll notice a text window. This is the transcription of the video. If you click on Expand Text at the top of this box, you enlarge the text window, which shrinks the video window. If you want to start the video, simply click on the play button.
In January of 2006, we were on a flight headed over the pond to experience something like I never thought that I would ever experience. I never thought that I would be encased in anything that I experienced over there. We landed in Kandahar airfield, and I just remember getting off the plane, and that it was just that impact of that heat getting off the plane on the tarmac, and it was like, wow, this is something else. I never been to a desert type environment, so that in itself was just a shock.
And the Hercules would come in and you'd land and the ramp would drop, and it was like someone punched you in the gut with the heat. It was just this completely solid mass of heat that would hit you. It was 8:30 in the morning, I think, when I landed, and I was overwhelmed by the heat. And this was January. I'm thinking, oh dear God, this is going to be crazy.
So as you can see, this is all about the chance to hear veterans share their own reflections. Now click on the back arrow to get back to the Afghanistan video gallery page. Then to get back to the Afghanistan featured mission page, click that back arrow again. Next, we'll explore the photo gallery. All photo galleries of the featured missions have 20 images, which have come to us from the Department of National Defense. To see a photo in full screen mode, simply select it. To browse the photos in full screen mode, mouse over the edge of the image, either to the right or the left, and you'll see an arrow. Each image comes with a caption at the bottom. And clicking on Save Image will open a window to allow you to select where to save the photo on your hard drive. To exit the full screen mode, click on the X in the upper left-hand corner to get back to the photo gallery. Then the upper left-hand corner back arrow to land on the Afghanistan main feature page. And again on the arrow to land to the map page. Next, let's go back to the home page by clicking on the home icon in the upper right-hand corner. We will now explore the lesson plans. Clicking on lesson plans opens a new section, which is divided into 3 categories: military intervention efforts, humanitarian aid efforts, and remembrance. For each of the 3 categories, there are 3 associated lesson plans, for a total of 9 in this learning resource. We will explore the first activity in the military intervention efforts, called Canadian Armed Forces 360. If I click on the green button in the middle of the screen, it opens the PDF of the lesson plan. The toolbar at the top again allows us to search text, zoom in and out, print, or download the file. You will find the aim, objectives, target audience, sequence of events, class materials, introduction, research, presentations, and the wrap-up discussion here. Click on the upper left-hand corner arrow to get back to the Canadian Armed Forces 360 Lesson Plan main page. On that page, in the right-hand portion, is found all the class materials for this lesson. Considering this one uses a lot of resources, you will need to use a slider to scroll down and access all of the ingredients. Here's an example. Under question sheets, I will select the first item, Faces of Peace. It opens the student question sheet in PDF format. You can show it on a large screen if you have a projector in your class. You can also print the question sheet or save it and distribute the electronic copy to your students. To accompany this question sheet, click on the back arrow and then scroll down until you find, under Historical Sheet PDFs, the Faces of Peace sheet. All answers to the question sheet are found in this historical sheet. Going back to the lesson plan main page, you also have access to the answer sheets for this Faces of Peace activity. One last item to explore on this page, under class materials, are the videos. When it's time to wrap up this lesson in class, you can use the suggested videos, for example, Pride in Our Country, to bring the activity some closure. The video window under the lesson plans is similar to the videos under missions. You can play the video full screen, and you can also enlarge the text window. Well, that was a virtual walkthrough of the Canadian Armed Forces Around the World Learning Resource. I hope that it will be a useful tool for your students to help them learn more about the Canadian Armed Forces and honor the men and women who have served in military uniform in recent decades. If you have any questions or comments, you are welcome to reach us. On the home page of the resource under Disclaimer, you will find our contact information. Send us an email or call us by phone toll-free at 1-877-604-8469. We hope that you will take advantage of this completely free tool in your class. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Okay, so that was the voice that you heard is Alan, is our third amigo. We're not the big team at Veterans Affairs and the Learning Unit. So there's three of us education officers, and in commemoration there's a larger team, but we're not thousands of people working in commemoration. So the kit was developed internally. And it was I'd say more than 5 years project in the making. Like we didn't work on it full time, and the whole crew. So people were working on it and picking at it. And so we started with a list of missions that was obtained from the DND, Department of National Defense. And then we looked at what content we had available, our historical sheets, what we had for interviews with veterans. And so we saw what we had, and we tried to package that in a container that would be used in schools. And we hit the big hurdle a few years ago, because when we started to develop the kit, the flash technology, I'm not a technical expert, but that's what I've heard. The flash technology was still the thing of the day. So we started to package in that technology, and we were almost ready to let the product go to teachers. And then we were told that flash was not a good idea. So we would almost shoot ourselves in the foot to release something with that technology. So we took a step back, took a few months, a few months to go back to the drawing board. And the kit has been developed using the HTML5 technology. So apparently it's supposed to be stable for the years to come. And the goal eventually is to have those kits downloadable from the website. Like the kit is a few gigabytes big. So with technology in schools and speed connections, this time was not the time for us to put the content on the web. So that's why, as Jill showed you, we still have a distribution based with like physical support. And like as Jill said, it comes on a chain, and it's the shape of a dog tag. That would probably be more the American dog tag shape. And we've attached, as Jill mentioned, the tag that we call the Remembrance dog tag. That's one of the lesson plans that we show in the Remembrance section. So the kit that you see, that you've seen on the screen, hasn't been tested yet with teachers. You're the first real persons to look at it. A few people seen it at VAC. So we have our little crew who worked on it. But if there's interest after the session and you think that it could be useful in your schools and you want to order them, you'll be the first batch, the first crop to use it, and hopefully benefit from it, like that it'll be helpful to you.
Also, if anybody's interested as well, that walkthrough video that we just saw is also available in French. And if anybody's interested in receiving it, we can send the link to you to watch in French as well. It's about a 17-minute long video, but it's all in French by Renee.
Yes, and interestingly enough, the English version is about 13 minutes. And we always joke at the office that French is always longer. Like when we develop learning resources that are printed, sometimes we have to shrink a little bit the font of the French because it doesn't fit like the exact same as it's in English. So another example that French takes sometimes a little bit longer. But speaking of the kit, like all the content is fully bilingual. But each kit is like each version of the kit, the French and the English, has some difference. Like you saw interviews with veterans, and so there's at least 10 featured missions with interviews with veterans who served in post-war years. And of course, our collection at VAC is larger in English than it is in French. But we're very happy that many of the videos on the French side are French veterans, Francophone veteran talking. So there are a few missions where simply there were no Francophones serving, and we had good clips in English. So we voiced over the English voices to put in the French kit. But on the French side, there are original videos. Okay, so I try to share the screen again, and let's see if I can find the little presentation, the PowerPoint.
There was a question as to whether it could be ordered from the link that we put on our presenters page there to order from our website, from our classroom materials, but as Renee said, not yet. So it's just to order through, we can distribute it to you for free, and the shipping is free. And you can email us. We can give you our email addresses and send us your mailing address, and we'll make sure that you receive it.
So I don't know if you see my screen right now. I shared another screen, and it's a different monitor, so I'll look on the other screen. So do you see something called learning materials on your screen now? A web page? Yes. Okay. So if you see the learning material page, I think that was the question we got in from the educators. Can we order that resource from this page? So the learning material page here, like in life, sometimes things are complicated, and in fact, it's the same. We have resources that for teachers are the same, but some resources are distributed from here in Charlottetown, and other resources are distributed from a printing company in Ottawa. So that's why we need to have two separate ordering systems. In perfect world, it'll be seamless. You wouldn't have to click on two different links, but that's our reality for now. So the learning kit, the CAF kit that you just saw, if you click on learning resources and historical publications, you'll see that there's a few options, and under learning resources, that's where you'll find it. So right now you see the First World War and Second World War resource kit, and Canadian Armed Forces Around the World resource. It's a placeholder. As you can see, it says available online. It's our way to say that it's not ready for ordering yet. But even if you can't order it through the website at this moment, we are ready to ship them. We have them at the office. It's just that we're still in pre-order mode. So it's a very first for teachers who are listening today. So you might not be able to order them today or next week online, but send us an email, get in touch with us, and our friends at the distribution center, if they get your address, you'll receive the resources. Okay, so if I share the screen again, and we go back to the presentation, I think we're at it's the time now to get questions from the public. It'd be great to hear your voice. I don't know if the technology allows that, but as I said, right now what I just see my camera and I see Jill. That's it. So I'd love to see your faces and see where you are and chat with you and see how things go in your schools and have a real discussion. So let's see how we can try to be interactive with the questions.
I see that Lori mentioned there was a couple questions for the end. So
is it now the questions?
So if you wish, I did try to have to put it on screen, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna read them aloud for you. So
Okay.
the first one will be, when will the USB be available? The website currently only offers the online version.
Yes, perfect. So that's a question we just answered.
Exactly.
And like, I hope that will be live soon. And we have limited quantities. We probably have 900 copies right now. And so I hope that it's plenty for the crew that's watching us today. I don't know what's the attendance, but we should have enough for you. And we also ordered new kits. And so for now, not available online, but eventually able to order from the website. Hope that it answered the question. What's the next one?
The next one is in French. Est-ce que le kit d'apprentissage que l'on peut commander est celui disponible sur le site web mentionné suivant, www.veteran.gc.ca ENG Remembrance Classroom Material?
Oui, exactement. Donc, c'est l'adresse que je vous ai montrée. Si je recule un petit peu...
Je crois que ce serait une bonne idée de la remontrer une deuxième fois, vu la teneur de la question.
Oui. Alors, donc, voici la page. Je crois que l'adresse que vous avez donnée, c'est bien celle-là, veteran.gc.ca, FRA, Remembrance Classroom Materials. Donc, quand vous arrivez sur cette page, vous avez l'option...
Pardonnez-moi de vous interrompre. On ne voit pas le lien pour l'instant. On est resté sur votre PowerPoint.
Oh, ben oui, il faut bien sûr partager l'écran. All right. OK. Est-ce qu'on voit l'écran maintenant?
Oui.
Donc, sur la page ressources d'apprentissage, vous avez deux options, comme j'expliquais tout à l'heure en anglais. Les ressources d'apprentissage de la semaine des vétérans, et j'y reviendrai tout à l'heure. Ça, c'est les journaux. So, the Learning Resources for Veterans Week are the newspapers. Et la section ressources d'apprentissage, c'est ici où vous trouverez la page pour commander. Pour l'instant, le kit sur les Forces armées canadiennes n'est pas encore disponible, mais il sera il n'est pas disponible pour commander en ligne, mais nous pouvons vous l'envoyer si vous nous donnez votre adresse. Donc, dans quelques jours, quelques semaines, ce lien sera actif pour commander en ligne. Mais d'ici ce temps-là, contactez-nous par courriel, par téléphone, et puis on pourra vous envoyer la trousse.
So the next one's gonna be in English. Is this something
Yes.
student may work with semester? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Simultaneously, this is a hard word for a French speaker, within the class.
Yes. So, I mean, Jill and I were teachers, and it's been a while for both of us. Been in a classroom. Last time was 10 years ago, and we know that teachers are a master at adapting the content. But the way it's developed, the resources are there to be presented on the large screen. But that's why when we developed the kit, we had we insisted on having the activities being developed in PDF format. We tried different formats, and this one was the more stable over time. So they're easy to download, easy to send by emails. I know that we try to have that the kit being like easy to work with different platforms. Sometime like that kit works best with a personal computer, PC. We tried with Mac computers. There's some issues because the way that the structure is built and limitations that the platform has. And I know that in many schools, it's Google Classroom. So unfortunately, the stick, the USB is not, you can't read it. Like it's a USB you can plug in your USB reader, but you can't read it on a Chromebook. Because it goes with, I think we need an exe file. So long story short, there's the ability for you to download the lessons, download the ingredients and send them by email. And we tried, and you can, like a teacher can put those resources in the cloud in Google Classroom, I think it's called. Yeah. So it's meant to be shared. So once you share the resources, yes, lesson plans are made for students to collaborate, to work as group. I'm not sure if it was exactly the question, but I'm happy to fine tune the answer if it wasn't exactly what you were looking for.
So we have a last one in English, and this one's going to be very hard. Be prepared.
Okay.
What is your email?
Oh, okay.
Oh, the email.
Yes. So I'll give you my personal one. That's the easiest, and it's RENE.AUDET and number 3 at the end. René.Odette3, René.Odette3 @canada.ca. So I don't know if I put that in the chat room, if people will see it, or if Laurie, you can send that.
No, I'm sorry, the chat room is just between us. So
okay.
Maybe if you write it on one of your slides on the PowerPoint, that
yes, I'll do that right now. Yeah. So you still see my my PowerPoint there?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Renee, you can also put my address too in case.
Yes. Okay.
Well, Renee's doing that too. I wanted to mention one of the other slides we have shows some of our other learning materials as well that's available online. But we've just developed in this time of COVID a new home learning corner. If anyone's interested in it, when Renee's done with the addresses, he could share the site. But for students that may be working or studying from home, we wanted to have something that they could work with either with their teachers or with their parent. So we developed this home learning corner for youth from kindergarten up to grade 12. So there's various, not lesson plans, but just information, handouts, some historical sheets and that type of thing. Some nice stories about how animals have helped in times of war for younger students. And so just to give them something to work from home if by chance any schools have gone back to home learning.
All right, so we have the addresses on screen now. Hope that you can all see it. If I change the background color, is it better like that or like this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
So up to this point, we didn't have any more question in waiting. So
Okay.
if you want
If
to.
there's no more questions, yes. So there's 15 minutes left, and the goal was not to fill your full hour. We know you all are very busy, and today is a day for you to learn more on the different resources. So we have a few more slides to talk about other resources that we have. As Jill said, on the Home Learning Corner, we have resources on, as I briefly mentioned, on Veterans Week, our Remembrance Day learning resources, newspapers for student kindergartens, grades 1, 2. We have a newspaper for grades 1 to 6. We have also a newspaper for grades 7 to 12. Postcards, bookmarks, posters. So all those resources, as usual, they're free of charge and they're shipped free. And if you order them in the next few days, you should be able to receive them in time for Remembrance Day. So we understand that Remembrance Day this year will be very, very different, like very virtual. Yes. So I'm sending another slide right now. You see my my PowerPoint. So we talked about that, the CAF kit. Okay, blah blah blah. I think we talked about all of that. And Jill mentioned Home Learning Corner, which is a simplified version of our lesson plans that student can work independently at home. And like another place on our website to find, we have over 60 or 70 lesson plans from the South African War to modern day, and touching on younger age groups, middle age groups, and high school age groups. And pages about the Veterans Week learning resources, and
which are all bilingual.
Yes, all the resources are free and bilingual.
And they come in class packs too,
Yeah, so we have resources that are online only. Some resources are online HTML, PDF, and sometimes some of those are printed. So there's a wealth of resources available for teachers. And so I think that's where I was going to go with my slide here. It's about the Remembrance Day, and this year across the country, Remembrance Day will be very, very different. For the first time, I think in my life, I've heard that the Legion said to people, "Don't come to the ceremonies," and for a valid reason. So ceremonies will still happen in a very modified version, like limited number of people, but some events will be shared live, like live feeds. So we have like not necessarily the learning team, but Veterans Affairs as social media where you can connect and follow those ceremony that will happen this fall. So there's a Facebook page, an Instagram account, and a Twitter feed, and they're easy to find. If you go on our website and look for social media, you'll see them. So I know we have very nice ceremonies coming, and videos using interviews with veterans, and footage, archival footage. And so those videos will be shared soon. So there are nice pieces to show on the big screen in your class. Okay, I think we're at the point where we can wrap things up. I said it when we started the session, and I want to say it again. I know a little bit what teaching is. I've been in the classes, but it's been a while. But my partner still teaches, and even if I said, even if in PEI it's fairly stable for the health situation, it's our day is very different now than it was before. So I just can imagine in areas of the country where the health situation is in bad shape, that it's stressful and requires lots of your energy and attention. So I'm very grateful that you still think about remembrance and you take time to introduce and bring remembrance to your classroom. And if we can help at Veterans Affairs with our learning materials, we'll be happy to do that. Jill, you have
Yes.
final words?
Yeah, really thanks for all you do, everybody, and across the country, and educating our youth and our future generation. And we appreciate all you do. And please let us know how we can help to offer any free learning materials to help you in your classroom. I hope everybody has a good day, good conference.
Yes, and I don't know if you're not interested in ordering the resource now, if you still want to share your emails with us to stay in touch. We have a mailing list, and we send updates 3, 4, 5 times a year. So if you want to share your emails, you don't have to order something, but you saw our emails, and I can put it back. I can put the page back.
Yeah, I think if you could put our emails back up.
Yeah, so I put the emails back. So send us an email just to say that you want to be added to the mailing list, and that way you'll have a direct access to the education officer, and we love to be able to help.
Mm-hmm. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the conference today. And
yes.
Have a good weekend.
Stay safe, and again, thanks for all you do. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I'm gonna now end the live streaming. Hope you have a good conference.